Sorry.
I'm glad you're okay. That's the main thing.
Oh, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Good morning and welcome to the Sunday Morning Sports Podcast. I hope everybody's doing good this morning. I'm your host, B.A. Got Jack Hurst, James Martin, and Keith Engel on today. A little bit late. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties with the producer. Yeah, so again, I hope everybody's doing good this morning. Olympics. Today is a good day. We have the men's hockey team, the USA, against Canada for the gold medal. It was going to come down to this, I feel, all along anyway. I don't know about you guys, but what's your views on this game?
Biggest game in U.S. hockey in, 46 years. So I guess it's a big game, right? Canada's been pushed to the brink here twice this week, too. So it's going to be very interesting. I don't think they can fall behind 2-0 to the Americans and hope to come back. So they better get off to a good start.
Well, you can sense that being a little more than just a hockey game, and I'm talking about in the sporting sense. It's more than a gold medal game. There's a little bit tension between the nations, not between the players, but I think the players are aware of it, especially in Canada, a little more so than the United States with what's been going on in a political sense. So you kind of wonder whether the players in Canada maybe want to win this game just a little bit more than in the United States. But in any event, it's a big game. If the United States hockey team wins, I could guarantee you they're going to be invited to the White House, which is a rarity for hockey, unless, of course, it's a miracle situation like the 1980, United States hockey team.
I think you might be shortchanging the players' disdain for each other, actually, Jack, because the players don't like each other either, as you saw in the Four Nations last year.
But they play on the same teams in the NHL.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it don't make a difference. They have very bad disdain for each other right now. Speaking of that, the women's hockey team won 2-1 against Canada the other what was it, Friday, I believe, or Thursday actually, and it was Friday. Yep, Friday. That's good. I mean, it's. I guess somebody told me the U.S. men's hockey team wasn't set up. I mean, not the hockey team, but the hockey format wasn't set up right. It was set up for USA and Canada to meet, basically, based on their divisions. I was like, you got to play. You got to win.
I'd have to disagree. I mean, just the fact that Canada's been pushed the way they were this week, it tells you that it's not fixed. Not fixed in the sense that the games are fixed, but I don't think it's set up for them to just meet each other. Do they want that? Sure, but Canada could very well have been out, 4 days or 5 days ago.
Frankly, so could the USA. I mean, they barely speak past Sweden. So,
yeah.
Sidney Crosby is going to be out at this game too. Actually, this game is starting
right now.
So. Anybody that's up in the morning like I am or like we are, turn that boy on and watch that game.
It's on right next to me.
Well, I mean, it's not a big deal on the East Coast. 8:10 in the morning isn't that early.
True.
I mean, let's be honest. And on the West Coast, 5:10 in the morning, that's another matter.
There's a bunch of bars.
Like I said, not for us either because we're up early. So,
There's a bunch of bars open in here, Brian, to show the game locally, so it's a big deal.
Oh yeah, wow, that's good. Just on that note, we got that. It's an important game coming up. Yesterday we had a important game or two. Number one in the college basketball, as a matter of fact, number one Michigan played number 3 Duke. Duke prevailed in that one. It was a pretty good game all the way around, actually, to tell you the truth. Me being a Michigan fan, I thought that it was one of those kind of home game kind of games where the home team was going to win that game no matter what. I would like to really see these kind of games played on a neutral site to see what would really happen. But, I mean, Duke played well. They did. They handled the defense of Michigan pretty good. Michigan came back a couple of times on them. I mean, hey, probably Duke will be number 1 at the end of this weekend, which is deservingly well. I mean, they did beat.
Yeah, Cam, I'm telling you, we're not only keeping an eye on the NCAA tournament March Madness, but the NBA draft as well. I'm very high on Cam Boozer. I mean, he's going to be a force in the NBA. I mean, I don't want to say he's unstoppable when he takes the ball to the basket, but he could take it straight to the basket, score. He could dish it off. He's the real thing.
Great player.
And I was going to say, it's very rare to see another generation of great players have their kids be actually, equally as good. So you're seeing, or better. But you're seeing, and going to the same alumni, Carlos was actually a great player for Duke and had a really good NBA career. So kudos to Cam Boozer.
It's a good story. We don't get enough stories in college basketball and sports anymore because of the way it's set up and one and dones in basketball and whatnot. But it's a great story, and I love stories in college sports. So. Great. And these two teams, by the way, 1 and 3, Brian, but 1 and 2 in the early look at the top 16 seeds by the tournament committee. So this is going to that's an interesting result.
Yeah, I see these two meeting probably in the championship. I just think Michigan is. They have a shot. They had a shot at Duke. They didn't do, they obviously got the short end of the sword on this particular game, but I think that next time it'll be the same type of game. It'll be gritty. I think that these teams it'll be a good game again. I'm hoping that Duke don't win because I don't like Duke. Anyway, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm surprised Sony's not out here gloating because that's their team.
People don't like Duke, right? They love to hate Duke because of the reason we hate the win. We hate the root for anybody that wins a lot. But Jon Scheyer doesn't get enough credit for the way he's maintained. Or he had a little bit of a fall off when Coach K first retired, but he got this program back on track really quickly. And he's done a great job. And compared to the struggles that North Carolina's had with Hubert Davis, it's been night and day, really. They're not playing badly in North Carolina, better than they have a couple of years. They had one surprise run to the Final Four, but other than that, they've struggled in Chapel Hill. And Jon Scheyer's really kept, I think, the ship much better afloat.
How much is Coach K involved? I kind of wonder if he's involved more than we think. We're not going to know about it because he's going to be quiet. He's going to be behind the scenes. Is he more than just a mentor? Because Coach Scheyer was his personal hire. That's the guy he wanted.
I don't think he's that involved, directly. I did the Scheyer call him for some help. Sure, I'm sure he does. Coach K said when he left, you won't see me here again. He's been at a few games here this year, but he's not really a visible presence around the program so much. But I'm sure that he has some influence over Jon Scheyer, but not the program in general, I don't think. He's a legend there. He's obviously going to have some kind of influence, but not great.
Yeah. Also, I just want to bring up on a sad note, NFL wide receiver Rondell Moore passed away at 25. It looks like a self-inflicted gunshot wound. It's sad. These youngsters I don't know what's going on with the young crowd of the NFL now. It's just I don't know what's going
We don't know the
on.
reason, Brian, but that's exactly it. You nailed it. We don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know, was he depressed because his NFL career wasn't on the right way? Maybe it was taking some hits to the head, and even though he's young, he had some of the effects of playing football. We have no idea, except we know it's a first-rate tragedy, what happened. And we assume because his career wasn't going the way he wanted it to, the way he probably felt it should have. He'd been, spotted a few years he played in the NFL. We don't know what was going through his mind, but it's so sad.
Very, very.
Yeah. So prayers out to
and rest in peace to him and prayers to his family. Yeah,
exactly. Prayers out to his family and him and his family and friends and stuff like that.
Yeah, Brian,
the NFL family. Go ahead.
You're planning that another sports icon passed away yesterday as well in baseball, Bill Mazeroski.
Yes,
I don't know
that was the other one I was getting ready. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay.
You're good.
That.
Go for it. And actually, you're probably the better person to talk about him, because I'm not as familiar as you are probably with him. But that's another sad pass. In 83, wasn't he?
89.
89.
I'm actually old enough that I got to see him play. Unfortunately, I wasn't old enough to see him hit the home run to break the Yankees' heart in 1960 World Series. He's primarily known for hitting a home run, but that's not why he's in the Hall of Fame. But I guess without the home run, he wouldn't have gotten into the Hall of Fame. He was one of the greatest defensive second basemen in baseball history. He was an absolute wizard. And what happened in the 1960 World Series, the Pirates beat the Yankees in 7 games. All 4 games the Pirates won could have gone either way. The 3 games the Yankees won, they slaughtered the Pirates. There was that type of thing. And even Mickey Mantle said that the only time he cried after losing, when they lost the 7th game to the Pirates, because the Yankees were clearly the better team, yet they lost. This was kind of a case like Russia in 1980 losing to the USA. Everyone knows Russia was the better team, yet they lost that game. And he was just an absolute defensive wizard. He came up in the 9th inning. The game was tied up against the Yankees, Game 7 at the old Forbes Field. And Keith could tell you, those old-time stadiums were classics. They were classics. The World Series games were played on weekdays. You didn't have these night games, like a work day. People would rush home from work, or they'd have their radios on at work, or they would hear about it word of mouth, what was going on in the game. And that's where he got his fame. But he was part of a great double play combination. I don't know if Keith remembers this one. I mean to bypass you, James, but I know you don't go that far back, with baseball. No disrespect.
No, none taken. Trust me, sir, none taken.
But I don't mind disrespecting Brian, but you know, I said, how much have we?
I'm not that old either, Jack.
But Mazeroski and Gene Alley, his shortstop, that was arguably the greatest double play combination, seeing them on the Game of the Week. And he's in the Hall of Fame, Bill Mazeroski, low stats. He only hit .260, won 8 Gold Gloves, but he was a phenomenal second baseman.
He did hit on 38 home runs when guys in the middle infield weren't hitting a lot of home runs. It wasn't a ton, but, it was fair. He had a couple of really decent power years. Great player. For years, and Jack, you'll remember this, for years, the case for Phil Rizzuto getting in, because he wasn't put in for a long time, was based off of Mazeroski being in, and somebody like Rizzuto should be in as well. So, and we don't recognize defense enough. We did this year with Andrew Jones getting in, right? And I think we need to recognize the defensive side of the sport.
Keith Hernandez, 11 Gold Gloves, and how can someone be, guys? How can someone be the greatest defensive player considered of all time in his position in baseball, no matter what position it is, and not be in the Hall of Fame? Just based on that, I don't get it.
1-0 USA, by the way. USA just scored. If you guys are
Yep.
interested.
All right.
Yeah. Good job. Who scored?
I
Oh yeah,
can't-
I'm gonna talk
I
about
think it's
that
one of the
next.
Hughes. I think it's one of the Hughes brothers. I couldn't see the.
That wouldn't be surprising. Hughes brothers been doing pretty good this series, hockey series for them.
Sorry, it was Matt Boldy.
By the way, we're talking about, we talked about a couple of athletes who passed, football, baseball, even though it's old news, the Goudreau brothers who got tragically killed in that accident, hockey players, USA team is kind of honoring them, going out of their way, because Johnny Goudreau would have been on this team, had he not been tragically killed by a road rage driver who went into the bicycle lane because he wanted to pass. And I mean, so tragic. I mean, when you look at the whole story, they went down for their sister's wedding that was supposed to take place the next day. I mean, as awful a news as you could hear. I mean, it happened a little while ago, but the memory, it's bitter memory. I mean, to just think about it.
Yeah.
Very sad.
I agree.
A lot of sad stuff. Jeez.
A lot of sad stuff going on, but we have to prevail and move on and just cherish the athletes when they were here. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. It happens.
But it makes me think, guys. Like in the case Bill Mazeroski, I didn't see a recent interview from him, and you don't even realize the guy's still around. And we talk on our show about iconic athletes. I mean, Bob Cousy's still alive. Is anyone interviewing him, talking to him? We seem to forget these guys are still around, some of them.
It's funny. There's a thing called the Mandela effect. You guys, I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's where we think somebody died years before they actually died. And there's a lot of that. I really thought when I saw about Bill Mazeroski yesterday, because you see so many fake stuff in social media, right? I thought it was one of those posts where he died 10 years ago and somebody put up something stupid. And I was surprised to hear the other day, Jack, that Bob Cousy was still dribbling around.
I mean, the big old Oscar Robertson's around. Legendary guy. Well, one of the greatest of all time. Is anyone interviewing him?
Oh, Keith, I when you said dribbling around, I'm like, is he talking about the ball or his mouth?
As soon as I heard it, James. So
is Elgin Baylor alive?
It sounds like a shot at Jack there. Anyway.
Wait, guys, is Elgin Baylor alive?
Let me check it out.
So.
I'm going to say
I do have to check it. These guys were legendary.
Mm-hmm.
He died in 2021.
Yeah, but I don't think I thought he was gone. Yeah.
He was
so Donna
77.
Donna asked if you brought her cup back there, Keith.
Oh geez. Damn. Sorry, Donna. My suitcase is over the weight limit. I couldn't.
Maybe I shouldn't put you on the spot like that.
Well, now that you called me out, sorry, Don. I'll get you one from Alaska in July. How about that?
So the next one we got, of course, spring training is starting. The teams are playing some spring training baseball. I gotta say that. Yeah, I know it's spring training, and we got the hoo-ha's playing in the leagues and stuff like that. Yesterday, the Yankees beat my Tigers 20-3. It was not good. Even if it's spring training, I know, but at the same time, 20-3 is not good. Aaron Judge had a couple homies in that one, so
Pete Alonso had a couple. His first game too with the Orioles.
The whole damn team had a couple of home runs. That's right.
These games mean nothing at all as far as the results. Yeah. And they don't mean a thing. I mean, my grandson texted me how great the Yankees looked. And I said the game means nothing at all. You know what you want to judge how players are coming along, like Garrett Cole. He was throwing 97 miles per hour yesterday. Got up to 97 miles per hour. You want to notice things like that. Is a player healthy? Is he rehabbing okay? Is he coming along? I mean, who cares who wins or loses? The record doesn't mean a thing in the exhibition season.
It's more about getting guys to the finish line healthy and ready to play. You're right, Jack. And
the only time it meant something to me in sports, remember when the Ravens won something like about 20 exhibition games in a row? I kind of wanted to see them keep it going. Something about it seemed fun. But outside of that, I mean, who cares?
I think I said at that time I didn't care about that even. I mean, a lot of guys get excited about these exhibition games. I guess I'm a little more pumped up this year, probably because the winter's been so crappy, I suppose, that I'm a little more excited for this spring and baseball. But you're right, Jack. Exhibition games, it's about getting guys healthy. Yankees got 4 guys that probably aren't starting the season, but we want to see how they do, tracking towards getting in the lineup sometime late in April or in May, including Cole. So.
And just to put in something there for Jack, there was a boxing match last night there, Jack.
Oh yeah. Ryan Garcia, he won his first fight in a while. I mean, but Ryan Garcia is a personality. He's a tremendous talent. Don't get me wrong. He looked good. He beat Mario Barrios, who is a decent fighter. No more. He's not elite. Mario Barrios isn't close to being elite. Don't tell me he's a champion, because everyone's a champion. He's about as much of a champion. I kid you not. I'm serious. I'm going to put it in perspective. If I told you the Green Bay Packers were I made them the champions of the NFL right now. Let's call the Packers the NFL champions right now. And if someone beat the Packers, would you look at that team as being, the best and so on? Come on. But that's the sick nature of the sport of boxing, with all the multiple champions in the media, and Mario Barrios, who could only manage a 12-round draw with a 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao in his last fight. So Garcia got in shape. He looked really good, and he did what was expected of him. And he's a big-time personality. And that's the sickness of us and of our society. Guys are appealing who act a certain way, who act in an improper way. The same Ryan Garcia who got busted for PED use and was suspended a year for being on PEDs, and then he comes back off PEDs and loses badly to Raleigh Romero. And as a result, he gets awarded with a so-called WBC title shot against a very beatable champion. That's the sickness of this sport of boxing. I mean, the way it is now. And I'm not going to be like Howard Cosell. Howard Cosell actually quit calling fights because he claimed he got disgusted. But I'm not going to go that far. But kudos to Ryan Garcia. He did look good. He is very talented. He could represent a threat to nearly any fighter out there if he's in form, because he's genuinely a heck of a fighter and a heck of a talent, if he puts it all together. And he seemed to do that yesterday.
He's pretty quick, Jack. I mean, I saw he's very quick with combos. That first put down of Barrios was impressive in the first round.
Yeah, Garcia did a good job, a really good job. But don't get me wrong, you put him in with Shakur Stevenson, it's a different proposition, completely different proposition. I mean, any elite fighter would have spanked Barrios. Shakur Stevenson would have played around with Barrios the whole fight. It would have been no more than a sparring session for him.
Of course he does. Well, these are things that he likes to talk about.
You like to comment a lot, Donna, for sure, but I enjoy your comments.
Donna, the wrath is on you now.
I like to talk, you like to comment, but I appreciate your comments. So
Way to
I like it. I'm joking the way you are, of course.
Donna, you just opened the wrath.
Right. I came back at Donna. She didn't expect that. I counted a little bit, but I enjoy it. Donna knows the stuff when she comments.
She's been paying attention to the show. That's for sure.
Yes, definitely. Just in some NFL news, Javonte Williams signed a 3-year, $24 million contract with Dallas. So they got the running back for a while. That's good because he did a good job this year. I mean, he wasn't he was like top 10 running back.
He did do a good job.
Smart move by Jerry Jones. he signed the running back for what seems to be market value now, but it's really low money because the market value for the running backs are going to go up. And Jerry, it's going to turn out in all probability to be a good deal for Jerry Jones, where the player won't be as happy maybe in a year or two. No, Donna, pick on me, please. I'm good. I like when people do that. You're good. I'm joking with you. That's all. I'm joking. We're joking back and forth.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
No, Jack, right. I agree with you. I think it's very smart of Jerry Jones to act now and not like he did and bungle the deal with Michael Parsons. So you look at the situation. You got a running back that might be top 10 if you look at it respectively. Because I mean, I don't know if they're saying that the running back position has diminished. I think that's a bit exaggeration in how they're playing the running backs, but he got 16 million guaranteed. That's really cheap. That's really cheap. Like you said, it's probably going to go up. We're talking about Kenneth Walker. There's another running back that's out there that's looking for money as well. I can't think of the guy's name, but we're talking maybe 18,
Breece
20.
Hall.
Yeah, Breece Hall. Yes, exactly. They're looking for 20 million guaranteed.
Well, the biggest free agent signing controversy I think that's going to take place, unless you could think of another one, it's going to be Lamar Jackson coming up. Because Lamar Jackson is a tough negotiator, and Lamar Jackson is going to want to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. And it's not ridiculous to make him as such. Is he the best quarterback in the NFL? No, not based on coming off his past season. But Lamar Jackson at the top of his game, you can actually make an argument that he's the best QB in the NFL. I'm not saying he is, but you can make that argument. He's that good, and he's been known to carry the Ravens at times. But if you're the Ravens, do you invest in him like he's an absolute superstar quarterback, give him a 4 or 5 year deal and make him the highest QB? Or does it get stretched out a little? And let's be honest, if you stretch it out a little bit, it filters down to the whole team in some way, shape, or form, because you wonder whether your QB is buying in 100%.
Is he still representing himself?
There's nothing wrong. His mother was representing him, but I think she did a good job. No. I mean, I'm just
asking because I didn't know what his status was.
Yeah,
he has no agent but his mother. Yes.
If you know your market value, you know your number, you can get all the stats figures about the other QBs in the league and see what they're making. You don't necessarily need an agent. I want to ask you guys, these guys who are agents, what were they before they were agents? They were just young men or women learning, their trade, how to be agents. Like you take, for example, an offensive coordinator in football, giving an experienced quarterback, giving him the plays. I mean, what makes them more knowledgeable than the quarterback on the field? If you got an experienced quarterback on the field, you don't need anyone telling you what to do unless you want someone helping you in the booth. I mean, I just don't get it. Like, people like to make fun of Aaron Rodgers, or, take a few digs at him. But isn't Aaron Rodgers qualified to call the plays on his own? Any Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, because he's not only a good pocket passer, but he's obviously very athletic. He can improvise on the spot. I mean,
you would hope what you just said. You would hope that these quarterbacks at some point that they've mastered their craft to where they can make calls to say, okay, look, I can improvise, or I can audible here and there, or at this particular point of the game, a play like this would matter. So yeah, I mean, I would say that most of those guys, all of them are veterans, and at least 6 or 7 years into the game, they should be if they're elite, they're masters of what they're doing. So I would say yes. Oh, hey, somebody appeared out of nowhere.
Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. We've had some intermittent issues here.
I mean, it depends on who the quarterback is. Like you're saying, Chuck, that you don't let him call his own plays. Once he's a quarterback, if Drake May, you don't quite let him call his own plays. But Jared Goff, who's been a quarterback in the league a number of years, if he wants to call his own plays and he's confident, you let him do it unless you see he's having a hard time. Then you have to step in and start helping him out. But it used to be a big argument in the league. We talk about the great Don
Bring out my quarterback.
Don Shula, one of the great NFL coaches of all time. Johnny Unitas didn't like him because Johnny Unitas always called his own plays, led the Colts to a couple of championships. Now Don Shula takes over as the head coach, and Shula starts sending in plays to Johnny Unitas. Johnny Unitas is furious about it. He said, I don't need anyone sending in plays for me. I know what plays I'm calling. You adopt a game plan and let the guy call his plays. If Patrick Mahomes wants to call his own plays, are you going to tell him he can't?
Not if it's working.
Obviously,
it has to work. That's the thing. I think it has to work. I don't know the situation between Don
Shula. Remember
Shula.
one of those Super Bowls? Call him a play.
I mean, I think the big thing in the NFL right now.
Contribution to the show, making Keith leave for a little while. Keith wanted to join the guys at the bar, rooting for the USA.
Right.
That's where his head's at.
Let's go down there real quick to see the hockey.
My ears were starting to bleed. I had to get something.
Yeah, it seems like there's been the StreamYard itself right now is kind of on a teeter. Right now, it took me a minute.
Is that what
to
it
get
is?
on
It's
here.
not just me then. Huh?
Yeah. I think it's intermittent all over the place here because it's really hard for me.
I was frozen up, and that's why I
here.
jumped out. And then I couldn't. When I came back, it wouldn't put my camera or my mic on when I came back. So weird.
So continuing on the football real quick here. JSN said that he deserved to be paid the highest paid receiver. Does everybody agree with that?
Yes, undoubtedly. This is the number one thing. If you produce on the field and you produce at the ultimate level, of course you. And everything worked perfectly for him. Particularly, this is the season. It's time to change your contract. You get to the playoffs with your team, and ultimately you win the biggest prize. You can't argue that he should be the most. And also to win hardware, offensive player of the year. It's just hard to argue against him not being the highest paid right now.
Naked eye test, but he's not the best receiver in the NFL. He's not better than Jamar Chase. He's not better than Justin Jefferson. You could say he's close if you want, but it does matter. It matters the circumstance. Jefferson had the worst circumstance that an elite receiver could have. Worst circumstance.
That's life, sir. Life ain't fair. But I'm not going to be mad at somebody making $35 million a year. I feel that bad for a person making $35 million a year. Say it again.
If Sam Darnold's contract was up, you'd make him the highest QB in the league. You'd say, well, he's got the hardware.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
No, of course you would make him the highest, but it's different in regards to the receiver because Sam Darnold wouldn't be Sam Darnold if he didn't have a Jackson Smith and Jigba catching the ball for him. So, you got to.
But I could say that in reverse the same way. If he didn't have Sam Darnold, he wouldn't be as good.
He did pretty good last year.
Yeah, before he got there.
He had Geno last year, didn't he? Or not yet. No, not last year. Last year, just before. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Geno wasn't bad. I know Geno catches strays, but there's no way that I'm just saying he's in the right place right now to get that money. Whether you agree he's optically the best receiver or not. I agree. I like your argument. I think Jamar Chase is probably one, if not the best, number one, number two.
Better than George Pickens.
Is he better than George Pickens?
It's close. It could go either way.
Yes, but I like Jackson Smith and Jigba's attitude. Better. A lot of these things matter. He's not mercurial. He's not a person that's going to cause problems in the.
Right. He's not like Terrell Owens,
Of course, I knew you were trying to set me up for that one.
You set yourself up for it, not me. Attitude counts and all that. I thank you. I've been trying to get that across to you for a long time.
We're not talking about Hall of Fame, sir. We're talking, and still the body of work is one thing, on the field is totally different. But again, I'm going to say that George Pickens, I mean, we're speaking apples and oranges, because I don't know. I mean, George Pickens, he's bigger than Jackson Smith and Jigba, but Jackson Smith and Jigba is playing his game way better than most receivers right now. And who's on the other side? George Pickens had CeeDee Lamb. Now, when CeeDee Lamb was hurt, he stepped up as number one. But who was his number the whole season? Who was his number two in Seattle, in Jackson Smith and Jigba? When you're being double teamed and you're still being dominant, it's just, come on. He deserves his money.
I agree. He shows up to play too. Pickens doesn't show up every week. I mean, or even every.
No. He deserves his money. No. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve his money. I'm just. I don't want to say call James out, maybe that's the thing. I'm saying calling him the best receiver in the NFL. I mean,
no, it's fair. I mean, I'm not saying he's the best receiver. I'm just saying for what he did for his specific team, the optics tell me that he deserves the money. And look, the best receiver got paid at the time when the time was due, and he was the highest paid receiver. It's just, the nature of the game. When you moved on, everything progresses, everything moves up. If you're the best, if you're not the best receiver specifically, but okay, hold on. Let's put the argument this way. Who is the best receiver in 2025? That's what you want to say. Mm-hmm. It was Jackson Smith and Jigba in 2025.
Okay, you can make that argument. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, the draft has a lot of good receivers available in this year's draft coming out.
Market drives the
price. I agree.
These guys might want to think about taking a little less money and letting their quarterback get some offensive linemen that can keep them upright. I'll just say.
I'm a big proponent of that. Let me tell you, because what I saw last season with the Lions, they need that interior line fixed like quick.
But do you guys think that there's a problem with guys not wanting to play on the offensive line anymore? I mean, like they used to. I mean, maybe. A lot of guys. I mean, because the talent pool is not as good as it used to be. James, they're not playing wide receiver. They're not moving from offensive tackle to wide. Maybe they're playing other sports like basketball. Because I believe it or not, I'm gonna tell you. The average height for those guys are like 6'5", 6'6". Yeah. And so a lot of these guys are tall, and they have to put weight on. I knew a guy that was an offensive lineman for SMU. And I couldn't believe he was an offensive lineman because I met him after his playing days, and he was like slender, but he's always said, "Oh yeah." If you look at my old pictures, I was a big guy, But I mean, they have to keep that weight on. So a lot of these guys don't really have to play that sport if they don't want to. It's just, I guess some of those kids, you get pigeonholed in that position. But a lot of these guys are very athletic now, and so a lot of these guys don't. I didn't see Jack shaking his head.
No.
What do you got
there? No, it's thought-provoking what you said, because a kid starts playing a sport for love of it to begin with, but how many kids who start playing football decide they want to be an offensive lineman? They want to block. I mean, everyone wants to carry the ball, catch the ball, throw the ball, kick the ball. At what point are they told they have to block? And some of them lack those skills I mentioned, and the only way they can be players is by blocking. I mean, it's even glamorous in a way to try to get the quarterback or run at someone, but to just stand there and keep someone off your players, push them out of the way so your teammate can run with the ball. I mean, are they, like James said, are they pigeonholed into something they don't want to do, but they have a talent to do it? I don't know.
There is something to what James is saying, though, because it makes me think whether parents and not letting their kids or play football in their youth might be affecting some of these positions like offensive line, defensive line, whatever. Because there's going to be some ripple effect, right? It doesn't take effect right away, but over time, if less kids are playing youth football and in turn high school football and so on, it's going to affect the product at the highest level at some point. And I think there's some butterfly effect there.
I mean, I
Yeah,
think
but
the
no
offense.
one starts playing for the money. Everyone, it's love of the game when they're young. No one's thinking I'm going to make a
I
living
mean,
at
that's
it.
true. Everybody finds their place later on as they
Yeah.
continue up the football ladder. But
I'm
I
not talking
do
about money.
believe.
I'm talking about the parents not allowing them to play because of safety reasons. That's what
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
talking about. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's so many different variables. I'll say also. I mean, because the evolution of the game has changed. You don't see those big, huge 260-pound linebackers anymore. Now guys have to be faster, taller. You know, I mean, look at the guy number 2 in the draft, Arvell Reese, a
Yeah.
freak of nature. Look at that wingspan. He looks like a predator out there. So I mean, I mean the movie Predator when I say that, you know, with the long arms and everything. So I mean, I just think that yeah, you have to look at. It's going to change again. If they start running the ball like they used to, you're going to need those big linebackers to come back into
Well,
the game.
we're talking generically. We're talking about generically now, but we should really throw some names in the mix. Arvell Reese. It seems you're very high on him. He's been projected to go to the Jets at number 2. Is that what you endorsed? I know Keith is high on Ruben Bain.
Love
If you were
Ruben.
picking for the Jets, that would be his guy going to the Jets there.
So if at number 2, if I'm choosing, if I'm a GM there, I'm going to go with Arvell Reese. I don't think, I mean, you're going to see a lot of names fly in there. I think the media wants to put out whatever they want shock value to put a player that you know probably shouldn't be in the top 5. So you're going to see a lot of these crazy mock drafts that are going to come out there. But in reality, I think the people have it right so far, unless he bombs at the combine, if he's going to be there. I think he would be the number 2 person. I think what I've heard, they got Mendoza number 1 as top players, not who's going to go in the draft and where the needs are, but top players, top 50. Mendoza, Reese. Actually, I don't think Reese was number 2, but Jeremiah Love.
I guess it all depends on what
Jeremiah
draft market you're looking at. Draft, market that you're looking at, because I saw Bain number 1 and Mendoza was like number 3 or 4. So it all depends on what draft boards you go by.
They don't always, but those draft boards don't always look at by team need either, right? So
they're
going by the best player in college. Period. That's what they're going by. They're not going by whatever the other team wants to. You know what I'm saying? In the NFL.
And my opinion on Ruben Bain's colored a little bit by the fact that I watched him play every single play basically during the year. I didn't see Reese play every single play or every single game even. So, you know, obviously my own opinion is going to get, you know, a little bit distorted because of that probably.
I kind of wonder if the Raiders pass on Mendoza. I don't think that's going to happen, but it's always a possibility. They're either going to trade down before the draft to a team that really likes them, but is it possible there's no one team that likes him that much? They'll like him, but not that much. And if the Raiders don't make a deal, and let's say they're sky high on one particular player, let's say it is Reese, okay, and that the Raiders absolutely feel they have to take him, and the Jets go second, could that throw things out of whack for the Jets? Because it seems to me the Jets are thinking about next year's draft, where there's going to be a number of really good quarterbacks coming out.
Well,
and
we
all
thought
of a sudden, if Mendoza falls into their lap, I mean, do they take them if they're not that high on them, but they still like them? Because once you take a quarterback at number 2 overall, you're not taking a quarterback in next year's draft. So there's
no quarterback in this draft that deserves number 2 overall. There's not one. And speaking of what you mentioned about Bain.
Wait. Mendoza, if he falls to the Jets, you would take him if you were the Jets.
Yes.
So yeah, that's what I mean.
If you like him as quarterback, you should take him because you can't count on next year. We saw this year you can't count on next year. This was supposed to be a great quarterback class. It's horrible. One of the worst quarterback classes I can remember. At the time, too, I'm not crazy about Mendoza. No, he's a good player. He's not Peyton Manning coming out of college.
He's just the best in his class right now. I mean, and a Heisman Trophy winner. But so was
all right,
Gino. So was Gino Torretta. If I'm not sure.
College players, again, they're great college players. One thing doesn't always equal the other. So,
What I wanted to say. Oh, go ahead.
Some of these draft sites, like the one that I usually follow, is the NFLDraftBuzz.com. Shout out to you guys, by the way. And they're top 4 right now, and they go exclusively just on the college players. They don't care about what NFL is going to pick. They go by the college players, and right now they got Ruben Bain Jr. 1, Caleb Downs 2, Jeremiah Love 3, and then Fernando Mendoza 4. Now, people can say, well, that's not where. No, just how the NFL teams will pick is a whole different thing. But how good the college players are based on what they did in college is another thing. So
I like that.
They're listed based on that, and they're not based on what NFL teams are going to go out there.
No, I like it when the draft boards. And I use PFF a lot myself. I like them a lot, and they also rank the players by how good they think the player is, not who's going to take them, because that's a crapshoot. You know, you don't know what these teams are thinking.
When you look at Ruben Baines as number 1, I like the idea that he's top. He should be top 5 regardless. But his body type to me reminds me of a Dwight Freeney. He kind of moves in that same ilk, that body. But I don't know if the arm length. I think is that going to count against him, because that's when I say Dwight Freeney, I mean their height. What is he, like 6'3", 6'2", 6'3"?
6'3".
Yeah.
That's kind of tough for a defensive end without long arms. And that's so he's got to really a lot of his lateral and maneuverability has to be really quick. It has to be really quick. Like that's what he did in Miami with all the stunts that they would use him in, especially when I saw him in the championship game. I was like, wow. I mean, those games in the playoffs, like this guy's really fast, man. And he's like a nightmare messing with some of those offensive tackles. But when he gets to the pros, when everybody's good, everybody is, you know, you're facing elite tackles and more and better schemes in the pros. Can he, you know, is he good enough to just, you know, rely on his talent without, you know, to me, he kind of looks like I guess you would call him a T-Rex. Even though he's got short arms, he's still a predator. You know, you don't know apex predator, but is that going to count against him like what it may have gone against the offensive tackle for the Patriots with him having short arms? Could that have been an issue for him? That was one of the things they counted against him.
You know, Bain played with.
Nonetheless, he's gonna get picked in top 5, I think.
Yeah.
No
he
doubt.
is, you know, somebody's going to get a great buy in Mesidor as well, because he is really good, and I see him projected late end of first round, early second round. Somebody's going to get a steal with Mesidor. I'll tell you right now.
You mean his bookend?
Yeah, he was. Yeah. And I think they helped each other be better. To your point earlier, James, too. So I love both those guys.
So I'm gonna switch it over to the NBA real quick. There was a game that was played a couple of days ago.
I don't remember that game. What game you talking about?
You don't remember that game? You know where the Pistons went down to the Gardens and Cade Cunningham put out the show.
Cade Cunningham is like the Knicks. I have no answer and never have for Cade Cunningham. Never.
Cade Cunningham took more shots than the rest of the starters combined.
Regardless, the numbers are there, and the Knicks have lost by an average of about 30 points to the Pistons this year.
Well, the Knicks played last night. It was a dramatic comeback victory. Why are we talking about the Pistons here?
Because the Pistons and Knicks are in the East probably, and it matters for a couple of months from now.
Because they're your team. They're your team, Jack, and we like talking about them. That's what.
I don't talk about my team at all on this show because my team is
Brooklyn. Nets. That's right. You're the Brooklyn Nets. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You're a Brooklyn Nets fan.
That's a good
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Are they still alive? We're talking about guys being alive.
Are they still a team?
That's still alive? I don't even know. Are they functioning?
I know. I just want to throw that.
Jack just proposed a question: are the Jets or the Nets the worst team?
Jets.
No. Well, last night's Knicks game, I want to throw this at you guys, okay? Knicks came back they were down 18 points in the fourth period and came back and won. And Houston has Kevin Durant this year, and Durant, on balance, has helped his team throughout his NBA career. He was good with OKC. He got into the only finals. they did win a couple of titles with Golden State when he was there and went to the finals the other year. But Golden State would have been good anyway, regardless, as they proved before and after. He would have won an NBA title, I think, with the Nets had Irving and Harden not been injured in the playoffs against the Bucks. But it's what it is. He was awful with Phoenix, Durant, not individually, but the team was terrible with him. Now, we talk about the legendary players like a Michael Jordan, so on. I can't imagine these guys allowing their team to lose a game when they're up 18 points. Great players don't allow their team to lose. Yet they lost, with Durant. That's what kind of makes me wonder sometimes a little about him, as great as he is, and he is great. What's your take on that?
Well, I'm not gonna discount, because I think Durant played great in that game, but you got to give credit to Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns for. I mean, first of all, Houston is known for their defense. And so Karl Anthony Towns stepped up. They talked about this on, we're talking about Shaq and Chuck and everybody. They were just saying this is what he needs to do, specifically Karl Anthony Towns. He needs to be more consistent. I mean, he may be a nice guy, but Charles Barkley was saying that he's not a killer like Jordan, but he's a nice guy, but he's athletic. He can play. Shaq was just saying, look, just be consistent, because he played a great game last night. He played an excellent game, him and Jalen Brunson. I just think that, and it came down to the wire. So, I mean, if this a team, like just say, if we were talking about both these teams met up in the NBA Finals, would New York Knicks be able to beat Houston 4 times? So, it was 108 to 105. I mean, so it was a very close game.
To that point,
low scoring.
To that point, I got to circle back to Brian's original question about the Knicks cannot handle Detroit. So there's no chance of them playing Houston in the finals because they've gotten beaten by 38, 31, and 20 or 16 or whatever.
No, you can't have that attitude. Then there's no way OKC is going to the finals because they can't beat San Antonio. You can't use that logic. The Knicks beat the Pistons last year in the finals. In the playoffs. I mean.
Well, first of all, I know a lot of Knicks fans are talking about, well, they did the same thing last year. I said last year they were very contested games.
Yeah, I agree.
This year they're just getting bludgeoned. So I would say last year when I was the same way. I was like, well, okay,
that actually matters.
They swept the Knicks last year, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do it in the playoffs. This year, no. They're going to be able to take it to the Knicks in the playoffs.
We don't know what the matchups are going to be yet. All we know, the Pistons will play the Celtics, and the Celtics will beat them and clear a path. The Knicks will have to play the Cavaliers, and the Knicks could handle the Cavaliers. You never know how the order is going to play out.
No, I'm just saying I don't want to play the Pistons. That's that's what I'm saying.
That's the whole point. And I think the Knicks, the Pistons are taking it kind of personal against the Knicks too, from last year's playoffs, and they're taking it. And you got to remember that they won the last game without Duren and Stu, so guys on the boards right there. So hey, it is what it is. Just real quick before we wrap this up here, how is the score going on? Is it still 1-0?
1-0. End of the first period, intermission.
Just want to get to this real quick too. The United States has moved up in the second place in medals all. I think they got 33. They got 32. Sorry, 32. And tomorrow is the closing of the Olympics. So,
Tonight.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, and Norway's got 41. So we're not catching that.
No, but this is a good performance for the U.S. for a Winter Olympics, definitely.
One of the best.
Kudos to the women. The women athletes at this Olympics have been outstanding.
Yes, they have. They've picked up their game. All right, folks. This is the end of this show. Thank you for joining. Sorry that we were a little bit late. We won't have that problem again. I hope everybody doesn't get snowed in or whatever, wherever you're at. And everybody have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next Sunday.
See you guys.
And join Keith's Stream of Conscious next.